Hey there again. I have just finished re-sewing the last of these pleats. I wound up having to sew all 34 of them along their entire length because we extended the fell down to 7.5 inches from the new top, but I had to do each seam entirely because the old yarn, or the old thread used for these old kilts, appears to be wool, which has been heavily waxed, and it doesn't have a terrific breaking strain. So it would be really, really bad if I was to re-sew the necessary part and then have the top end blow out. I'd look like an idiot. So I've re-sewn all of them. I've done my best, and as you can see, the change that we've made, that's what it looked like before, and that's oriented to that. You can see how I've drawn these back together from this horrible job. I haven't been perfectly successful with every one of these because the cloth has stretched a little bit, so I've done the best I can. It's annoying, but it's not perfect. Now, because army kilts, and by the way, this will be subject of a different film which I'll put out shortly called "The Characteristics of Army Kilts." In army kilts, the pleats are uniform. They taper very, very slightly from, in this case, 3/4 of an inch to maybe a 1/16 less. They achieve the shaping to turn it into a section of a cone through a very drastic A-line. This is the shaping of the apron. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the width of the front apron. And in a larger figure, we want a larger apron, front apron anyway, in relation to the pleats. So I've undone seam. You can see that's the value of having a deep apron pleat. This one isn't particularly deep, but it's enough for us. And because on a C4 kilt, the red line is centered, I've remeasured it, and there's my chalk lines. So that'll be the new outside edges there and there. I'm going to press this flat, I'm going to sew it up again, and then I'm going to press it again. So my next stage from here, now that I've seen that I can actually make this kilt big enough for the chap, press it, re-sew it, and then flipping over on the inside, I have to cut out the back. As you can see, the back is thinned out, so it's not so heavy across the back. And I do that with a pair of scissors, and it creates a shape that looks like this, in a new kilt in any way. But I'm gonna relieve this down to about where the red line is. And use a white line for that. So I'm going to cut to about there, because after having cut it, I'm going to sew a very heavy back stitch along this line, which is at the bottom of the sewn portion of the outside of the pleats. And this is known as steeking. I have no idea why. This process of cutting out the back is called fishing, and that is called a fish. Again, I have no idea why. Perhaps it's the shape. I don't know. So I'm going to fish it, I'm going to steek it, I'm going to lay out the canvas, and that's when you'll join me next.